Hello everyone! In this video we're going to be doing LeetCode problem 937, which is reordered data in log files. This is marked as an easy problem. It is super unpopular, but I sort these by frequency and this one shows up on the first page. So you are given an array of logs. Each log is a space-delimited string of words where the first word is the identifier. There are two types of logs. So you have letter logs. All words except the identifier consist of lowercase English letters. You have digit logs. All words except the identifier consist of digits. So we want to reorder these logs. The letter logs come before the digit logs. And the letter logs are sorted lexicographically, which means dictionary order. If the contents are the same, then you're going to use the identifier to sort them. And then the digit logs are just going to maintain the same order that they were in the initial array. So let's look at this example. So the identifier here is dig1. And then 8151. So this is what do they call a digit log? So this one will probably end up at the end somewhere. Let1 art can. This is a letter log. Dig2 digit log. Let2 and let3. All right. So the output is going to be letter 1 because it's the first thing we're going to look at is art. So art comes before, well, in this case, there's art here too. So art, so we have to go to can. So can comes before 0. So you have art can, art 0, then you own kit dig, and then these maintain the relative order. So it's the 8151 and the 236. And in the second example, we have A19231, so that's a letter log. I'm sorry, a digit log. An act car, letter log. 47, digit log. Off key dog, that's a letter. And act 0. So the output is going to be act car because act car comes before act zoo. And off key dog is the last letter log. And then the digit logs come after that. I can totally see why this is not that popular. So how are we going to do this? Okay, so the way I'm going to do it is we're going to put it in separate methods just to keep it a little bit clearer. But we're basically going to create two log files, two array lists, and sort the letter logs and the digit logs. Then we're going to sort the letter logs, and then we're going to put it all together with the letter logs sorted first and then the digit logs after that. So we'll take care of the standard if logs length equals 0, just take me home. Return logs. Alright, so now we'll do this string, oops. Call it letter logs equals new array list, and it's not giving me IntelliSense, so it leads me to believe I've already messed something up. But we will keep going. Let another list string called digit logs, new array list. Alright, so this other method here we're going to call separate letter logs from digit logs. I like to do very descriptive methods if you haven't figured that out. So we're going to pass in logs, the string array of logs, and we're going to pass in letter logs and digit logs. Now we're going to sort letter logs. And obviously we're going to pass in letter logs. And then finally we're just going to return, and I'll just call this generate output letter logs, digit logs. So this should have, by the time we get down here, this should have sorted letter logs and then the digit logs in the same order that they were in the initial array. All right, this is all fine and good, except we need to write the rest of it. So we'll do the separate first. So we'll do void separate letter logs from digit logs. So we have the string, where is it, input, so the string array with a log file, list string, I'll call this one letter logs 2, and then list string, oh, I had that right, of our list of strings of digit logs. Okay. So this is going to be real straightforward here. So for string log in the input, so how we're going to separate them, we're just going to look at the last character. If we go back here, you can see the digit logs end with a digit, and the letter logs end with a character. So that's how we'll tell. If character is, oh, I got the intelligence back, is digit log char at log length -1. So that will give us the last character. So if it's a digit, we're going to add this to the digit logs. Else, we could just, whoops, else, we're going to assume that it's a letter log. It told us that in the description, that there wouldn't be any bogus entries. So letter logs and log. And that is it for separating. So now we need to do what? We need to, oh, this is the fun one. Now we need to sort them. Why this is marked easy, I have no idea. So void sort, unless I'm just making it harder than it needs to be, but I don't think that's the case. List string letter logs. So this is just going to pass in the letter logs or receive the letter logs. All right, so this is, Java has a collections sort function, and so this is just the syntax for that. So it's just, you basically just have to learn this or look it up every time you need it. But this is going to be collections sort. Now it's going to take letter logs, and we're going to do a new comparator string. And wait till we get to debugging. This is fun because it's going to go through a ton of Java programs to when we're trying to sort this all out. All right. So now we need to manipulate the letter logs. We don't want the identifier in there, so we have to override it. We have to override the standard functionality of the collection. So we're going to do public int compare. This is the method inside the sort. So now we're going to pass in string letters 1 and string letters 2. So what this is going to do is it's basically going to compare each element. So it would be like we go back over here. So it's going to take A1, whoops, that is a digit log. So it's going to take G1 act car will be the first letter or the first string that we're going to pass, and then AB1 off key dog will be the second. So that will be letters 2. Now we've passed, so now we captured those, but we now need to remove the identifier from them because we don't want to, we only want to worry about the identifier if the strings are the same. So we'll do a string 1 equals letters 1 substring letters 1 index of plus 1. All right, so let's say we have G1 act car. So it's going to look for the first occurrence of, or the index of the first space, and then it's going to add 1. So this would be the index of it, and add 1, and then do the rest of it. So that's all this is doing, and then we'll do the same thing with the second string. Letters 2 substring letters 2 index of same thing, this one. Alrighty then. So now we have that. So now we're going to do a return. So if string 1 equals string 2, meaning we have so string 1 will be act car and string 2 will be act car. So if those two are the same, then we've got to look at, then we're just going to use the whole string, which will have the identifier. So we're just going to go back up to here. Like this will have the identifier first, so then we don't need to like splice out the identifier. We're just going to compare the entire string. So letters 1 compare 2 letters 2. So this will return, we're still inside this collection, so it's just going to return 1 or 0. So this is why you see the int, why it's returning an int. I forgot to mention that. All right, otherwise, if the strings aren't the same, then it's just going to compare string 1 to string 2. Make sure I get all my squigglies in place. That's the end of the collection. All right. So that's this. Again, this is going to be a lot of fun to debug. So, but I'll try. And finally, we need to generate the output. So this is going to pass in. Or I'm sorry. The return value is going to be string array generate output. List string of letter logs and list string where am I? Lost my train of thought. Digit logs. That looks right. Okay. So the string, we need to pass something back, so we'll call that the result. Spelled return, apparently. Result equals new string. And this is just going to be the letter log's size plus the digit log size. So we're basically going to create a string array that's going to be null initially, but then we're going to populate it with all the values. cu for int I equals 0. I is less than letter logs size I plus plus. Alright, so now we're just going to do result I, so this is going to populate the result, equals letter logs get I. So this will just loop through all letter logs and stick them in result. We'll put those first. So that's it for that. Now, okay, so for the digit logs, to do a little jumping through hoops here. So we'll do I. We're going to start that at the letter logs size. We don't want to start it at 0, or we're going to overwrite the letter logs that are already in result. And I less than result length I plus plus. All right, now we're going to do result I equals, so we're going to pull it out of digit logs and we're going to do a get. So this is where we need, now we need to get start at position 0, because the digit logs just contain the digits. So we'll do I minus letter logs size. So the first time through, let's say letter logs is size 3. So I equals 3. So digit logs is going to get I, which is 3, minus 3. Letter log size 3, which would be 0. So it'll get the first one. And it'll go through the entire entire list of pulling all the digits, or putting all the digits, and then we'll just return result. Okay. A couple things I noticed. I had this on the wrong spot here. This needs to go. I had it down here, but this end bracket in, or I'm sorry, in parenthesis and semicolon in the collection sort. And then I forgot the value of the string up here in one of these. I can't remember. I guess that's the only one that has an input. But yeah, so I typed the word input in there. And that is it. Okay, for this example, I used a modification of the first example that they gave us. So I used the digits one, and I did letter one, I did art and can, but I did another one that was art and can, because if I didn't do that, it wouldn't, it would bypass some of the sorting. And then the digits 2 and the letters 2. All right, let's run this. So we passed in, we have string logs of those 5 strings. Length is not 0. Wish we could be so lucky. So we'll create these new array lists. Now we're just going to separate them. So we'll take the first one, which is digits 1, 8, 1, 5, 1. So if character is digit, which it is, we're going to add it to the digit log. Do it again. This one is a letter, so we're going to add it to the letter log. We'll just keep going through. Digit log. These last 2 should be letters. Okay, so now if you look at digit log, it has just the 2 digit arrays, and then letter logs has letter 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's keep going. All right, so now we've got the sorting to do. All right, this is going to be fun. All right, so we're going into the sort. All right, so now we're going to do the, look at these values. Okay, so you see letters 1 is own kit dig, and it's kind of ironic, but anyway, okay. So you can see how all it did was strip letters 2 out of there, so we're left with own kit dig. And then here, art can. So now string 1 equals string 2, that's not the case, so it's going to do a string compare of string 2. Okay, so we're back for round 2 here. And now we're going to compare art can to own kit dig. Again, those are not the same strings. So we're going to compare string 1 to string 2. Okay, third time in, art can versus own kit dig. Again, those are false. At some point, we're going to get to where they're both the same. So this will be true, but we haven't gotten there yet. Okay, I found it. Now we're doing art can with art can. So because string 1 is equal to string 2, now we have to compare the letters. Okay, so that appears to be all of the letter logs that we need to sort. And we are out of that method. So let's look at letter logs. Okay, so you can see the way these have been sorted. We've got art can and art can, but we've got letter 1 and letter 3. And then letter 2 is own kit dig. And then the digit logs, which we have already seen, are just the order that they appeared in the initial string array. So now we just need to put these together and ship it. Okay, so it creates a new string result. You can see 5 values and they're all null. So now we're just going to get the 3 letter logs, and you can see the result is those 3 strings. And then the same with the digit logs. You get those and return the result, which is all 5 of those. Now they are sorted the way that LeetCode wants us to sort them. And that is the answer. So sorry this was such a lengthy video. We'll run this, accepted, submit it, faster than 90%, and uses less memory than 60%. The time complexity for this, so basically the compare sort is n log of n, and that's just, there's no getting around that, so that's going to trump any of the other big O notation. And then space complexity, if you can believe it, is O of 1, because there's nothing that we do that's increases or decreases the initial. We just have the initial input parameter of the string array, and so we just split that up into digit logs and string logs. We don't ever create any new values or whatever. So O of 1. Whew. Okay, we got through that. Hopefully that made sense. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.